last couple of weeks, but that is about to change. We're seeing some patchy rain moving in from the west during today, some heavier rain to come through tonight, and then looking quite unsettled through Friday and also into the weekend. Weather systems beginning to move in from the Atlantic, bringing heavy rain, yes, but also some pretty strong winds with the risk of gales for a time across northwestern areas. But it's been pretty decent so far in Newcastle, with the sun shining on the Tyne from time to time. Cloud tending to come and go, but the cloud has just sat there all day really across Northern Ireland. This is the view in Belfast at the moment, looking pretty grey, the cloud right down on the hills, and we've got rain coming from time to time as well. In fact, that's more typical of most of the UK today. Those outbreaks of rain fairly hesitant in their movement eastwards so far, but we've got one or two heavy bursts just beginning now to move down across the South Midlands towards the London area. But on the whole, I think the rain will be fairly patchy, but continuing across much of Northern Ireland, getting into southwest Scotland, but the bulk of Wales and the western side of England hanging on to those rather grey conditions. Having said that, a little bit of brightness might just come through in Devon and Cornwall from time to time, but still the brightest skies near those North Sea coast of England and certainly across the northeast of Scotland. Temperatures, well, same as we've been used to over the last few days really, the mid to high teens typically. Now this evening we are going to see the rain really gathering across Northern Ireland, turning quite heavy in fact for a good few hours through this evening and the early part of tonight, with the rain then starting to march on. It'll push across Wales, some heavy bursts from much of northern England and setting in across Scotland as well through the latter part of the night. So a pretty wet start to the day here, I think, for much of Highland Scotland. Very different to what we've seen through today, and all the way down through the eastern side of England to a fairly damp start to the day. But brighter skies will be following on behind, so much brighter prospects, I think, for Wales and the southwest, and gradually through the day that brighter weather should extend across the bulk of England and Wales. One or two showers around, not too many of those, but you'll notice across Scotland, well, it's going to be a real struggle. I think that rain set in for much of the day across the Highlands particularly. So quite chilly underneath that rain, 13, 14 degrees elsewhere. Familiar figures, 15 to 17, about the average for this time of the year. But as I mentioned, well, we are going to see more rain coming in through the latter part of the week. In fact, some quite heavy rain and strong winds tied in with this weather front that moves in during Friday. So it's western areas, I think, that see the worst of it through Friday. Some heavy outbreaks of rain. Eastern areas dry to begin with, and even for the early part of the weekend, I think eastern areas faring reasonably well, but that rain will be pushing across most of us, I think, through the second half of the weekend. Anna.